They hate that we're number one. You ever tell them? You ever go to another country and tell them we're number one? Swim up to like a pool bar, just... and you know we're number one? They hate it, dude. They try to bring up bullshit to bring us down. They're like, what about all the mass shootings you guys have all the time? It's like, at least we're not gay. You know? So there's really not a good comeback to that, because that's a pretty serious problem. And we're the only country doing that. We're not making any adjustments. None. What are we gonna give up our guns like a bunch of fucking gay guys? Yeah, right, dude. No, we're just gonna have shootings all the time. Yeah. No, Australia's good. I was shitting on it. For real, though, there's a reason every good NBA player that's white is from another country. The audacity to think you could play in that league, dude. The fucking arrogance. Every white dude in America saw a black kid dunk in like 8th grade and was just like, oh, all right. There goes that dream. We'll just set picks for the next 4 years. Just box out hard as hell. White people used to be cool in America. Long time ago, dude. The height of white people being cool was us going, we're like, man. That was as cool as we got. We're like, man, see? Man. And then the day white people stopped being cool, it was Jackie Robinson's first game. You can look it up, dude. You can find it. You can find the radio call from that game online. You can hear the exact moment white people stopped being cool. You can hear the announcers. They still got there like, man. Welcome to Chicago, where the White Sox take on the Brooklyn Dodgers. And we all had cool white nicknames. Like, up at the mound is Old Curly. He's a 47-year-old alcoholic. He's the greatest athlete alive. Runs a 6-second 40-yard dash. Fastest man alive, they say. Then it happened, dude. And Jackie came up to the plate. You can hear the announcers like, meh. Coming up to the plate is a young colored boy from Brooklyn. No way he can hit Curly's pitch. Here comes the pitch. Fuck, home run. All right. That was it, dude. Jackie hit the ball so hard he knocked that voice out of all the whites. Not one of us has talked like that since. Dude, one swing of the bat, we're like, meh. All right, yeah, that was pretty good. That was good. It was good. It's time for us to focus on computers. Anyway, I'm a bit of a history buff, which, by the way, that is early onset Republican. It's a very serious warning sign. If you're a white dude in your 20s and 30s and you're like, I can't stop reading about World War II, it's coming, bro. You might not be Republican right now. You might be young and cool and liberal. You probably think you're safe, dude. You're not. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You think your dad wanted to be Republican? You think he got out of high school and he was like, all right, now it's time to be a prick about everything. No, dude, it takes time. Like, I'm not a Republican right now, but I can feel it. It grows. I gotta fight it every day, like a fucking werewolf. I'll just be watching TV out of nowhere. Just, why are black guys in every commercial? Mermaids are white. I'm 35, that's important to me. They are white, and I'm not joking on that one. No, I like history, so it's coming. I'm not a Republican now, but it's coming. There's no. And when I'm on the road, I travel every fucking weekend. There's nothing to do during the day, and then at night you do stand up. But during the day, I travel every weekend. Sometimes I like to visit like historical places throughout the country. So a couple summers ago, don't laugh at that. Shut up, dude. It's not lame at all. I just laughed at me from the balcony. Dork. Yeah. So a couple summers ago, I was in Washington, D.C., and I went and I visited Mount Vernon. I went and I visited George Washington's house. Turns out it was George Washington's plantation. Shucks. Dude, I get in there. I'm the only one there. It was the first summer during COVID. I'm the only visitor there. It's me, and if you've been there before, you know, it's 15 reenactors that don't break character. They stayed. Everyone else was in the 1700s. I was the only guy there. Like, I signed up for the tour, and my tour guide was Martha Washington. It wasn't her. It was some fat bitch. I saw right through it. I signed up for the tour, so me and Martha have to hang out together for 15 minutes to see if anybody else signs up for, like, the 3 o'clock tour or whatever. Of course they don't. I gotta make small talk with a woman that won't stop pretending to be from the 1700s. It's fucking insane. What do you say? I was just out there with her, like, where's George Washington? She's like, oh, the general? He won't be joining us today. He's in his chambers. It's just you and I. I was like, wait. You trying to fuck me? Never broke. No one broke. Enough times gone by, I've had enough to think about why nobody would break character while I was there. And for real, I'm fairly certain they thought that I was a special needs man. Like, they all got together and they were like, look, this is obviously a big day for this guy. Nobody break character. Let's make it magic for him. Like, they watched me park my car when I got there. And when I got out, they were like, oh. One of the driving ones. Look at him. It was also during COVID, and the mask did not do me any favors. If you can only see my eyes. I got the eyes for it. It was sunny out. It also didn't help I walked up to my tour guide, like, where's George Washington? He's like, oh, you're a big guy. I was like, yeah. So me and Martha go in for the tour. I was on Twitter and I saw a picture of this guy, and he was retiring from the military. And when he retired, he posted a picture of himself, full military uniform, all of his medals, but he was wearing a furry mask, like a sexual dog mask. And he posted, he said, now that I'm retiring from the military, I can come out and say, I've been into pup play this entire time. And he tweeted, he said, Officer Bow Wow out. And it said like, hashtag service dog. It was rough. For real, that was an accident. But he tweeted it. So, of course, Russia and China's Twitter, they got a hold of it. They started talking shit. You know, they were like, look at our military. It was a bunch of, like, jacked, skinhead dudes. They're like, look at America's military. It was, like, transgender people, the dog general. And they were making fun of us. They were making memes. They were like, look how tough and masculine our army is. Look how weak and gay America is. But I was looking at the pictures and I was like, Dog General's the scariest soldier I've ever imagined in my, dude, just some sexual freak operating drones that thinks he's a fucking dog, just, oh! You know how fucking scary that guy is? Just deleting villages. That guy's terrifying. The gayer the army, the scarier. Forever, dude, throughout history. Think of any army throughout history. Imagine them gay. Gay Nazis? Just when you thought those guys couldn't look any sharper. Gay Vikings? Gay Vikings, dude. You're just some villager looking out on the shoreline. You see a bunch of Viking longships coming. You're like, oh no. It's the Vikings. They're gonna rape our wives and daughters. Then they pull up their fucking rainbow flag on their boat, and you're just like, oh, fuck. Oh, that's way worse. I like history. Trump gave what I think was probably one of the greatest speeches of world leaders given. You know, it's got to be up there with, like, Churchill, Gettysburg Address. Anyway, For real, though, it was my favorite speech I've ever seen a president give. It was the night the United States killed the leader of ISIS. Trump comes out of the Situation Room at like midnight in the White House, and he walks down that fucking tunnel and gives a press conference like he's giving a post-game NBA just killed a guy press conference. He walks up in front of the entire world at midnight and just goes, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He died like a dog. And a fucking... That's all him, dude. I didn't change one word of that. That's what he opened with. And then he did 40 minutes. The speech is 40 minutes for no reason. It wasn't a prepared speech. He freestyled 40 straight. Not even a speech, just mean shit talk for 40. The meanest shit talk you've ever heard in front of the whole world. Abu. We could hear him crying. I said, Abu, don't cry. Abu. Let me tell you something. Abu cried. He cried quite a bit. I wouldn't have cried. Crybaby Baghdadi. That's what we were all calling it. Look, I love everything about that speech. I love it. I love thinking about Trump in the Situation Room, surrounded by generals watching watching special forces, watching those cocksucking Navy SEALs. Those mother. If I was in there, I'd be like, get out of there, Abu, run. They're great lovers. Don't let them get you. Ah, they got him. Ah, they're making him squirt. No. No. How could you do this? That's what we should do. Instead of 0 Dark 30 killing these guys, we should break in and have our special forces fucking whack them off in their own bed. That sends a pretty serious message, dude. Can you imagine that? Just 4 Navy SEALs holding your arms and legs. You're the only dude without night vision. No! Queer. They fly away on a helicopter. You just got jerked off in your own bed. You fucking jerked me off! You make me do cum! You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah. I love thinking about Trump in the Situation Room, watching a live military operation. He's the only dude in the room that wasn't military. He must have been the only dude watching it that was like, oh! Like, you could tell he's never seen it before by the fucking speech. The speech sounded like a guy just trying to tell you some shit he saw. A lot of guys would knock on the front door, not these guys, not our guys. Not our guys. Our guys went through the wall. They blew up his wall. And they used dogs. Beautiful dogs. Dude, beautiful dogs is the funniest detail. It's true. They actually did use, it was the Army Rangers and they used dogs because they were afraid al-Baghdadi was going to be wearing a suicide vest, so they killed him with dogs and a robot. And then made fun of him for crying. It's like, dude, let that guy cry. That's the scariest death I've ever heard of. That dude was laying in his bed in the middle of the night, his wall exploded, fucking 10 dogs and a robot broke into his... Dude, 10 dogs wearing helmets and goggles broke into his house. The Paw Patrol, the actual Paw Patrol. All right, dude, you guys have been so great.